Welcome to a first in the brief but illustrious history of the Bullhorn. A three-way, yes, get your minds out of the gutter.
Because we're in a more intimate setting.
Eric Jackson from Ironfire Capital. Howard Lindzen from StockTwits, obviously. We're going to talk smartphones today. Howard, anything you want to say to Eric first?
He owes me $10.
Oh. Maybe he can give you a share of Yahoo. So, like I said, we're going to talk all about smartphones today. Apple's clearly the leader. Nokia, Motorola Mobility had some pretty lousy results and guidance last week. Is it really all Apple all the time, like Highlander? There can be only one?
Well, I think Apple and Google are the big dogs, but and then there's everybody else. So I don't think it's. I think Apple has a lead for sure, and they have the profitability lead. I saw something like that they're making half of the total profits of all these providers in this space yesterday. So that's the kind of lead that as an investor I like. But everybody else is really kind of hunting for the scraps on the ground to catch up to Google and Apple. Right.
And what do you think, Howard? Google and Apple? Anyone else have a chance?
I think an outside shot with the new Y phone that I'm playing with from Yahoo. I love the way the keys come in different spots, so you gotta really invest time in learning how to use it.
It could be purple.
It'll be purple.
You could have a ringback tone of Carol Bartz curtsying at you. It'd be all great.
And there's a little bit of dirty talk.
Nice.
Ringtone. But I think the most important thing is not who can beat Apple, how can Apple screw up? And I don't see how that happens. I think they waited patiently for Verizon. I think they're letting the ball come to them. They're keeping the best margins. They're getting you to pay for everything. You know, you hate to see one company win, but when the consumer is basically smiling, hard to beat.
It's an interesting point about, how Apple can screw up, and it may be very difficult. There were some concerns, obviously, with the latest Steve Jobs health scare, taking his leave of absence. Do you think that's at all something that people really need to be worried about, or is Tim Cook really just a capable guy, and it's the same story with him, even if Jobs has to take a longer leave?
I think look at the price action in the stock since that whole thing was announced, and it shows that the market is totally behind Tim Cook. They trust him. He's a known quantity. The market's reaction is he can't screw it up for the next 4 or 5 years. They're on a track right now. They have products in motion, and he's not going to screw it up.
Howard, what do you think of Tim Cook?
I think that if we have a new vein of swine flu and people can't buy phones is the only thing that will stop Apple.
All right, you've heard it here first. H1N1, the only thing that can stop Apple. To wrap up then, the final question for both of you, we'll start with you first, Howard. Of the also-rans, Nokia, Motorola, Research in Motion, maybe some of the Asian companies that we haven't mentioned yet, who do you think has the best chance to be a solid number 3 to Apple's 1 and Android's 2?
I think it all comes down to price, right? The high-end smartphone war is going to go to Apple and probably Droid. And you got to remember the developing world. So I think Nokia and even Motorola, they'll be around. They'll drive shareholders nuts, trading in a range. But again, I advise investors to continually prune their portfolio and own the best. So I don't think people should worry about it.
Nokia and RIM remind me of the drunks that you sometimes see on the subway when the car's jostling, and you just know that in the next minute they're either going to lurch forward and grab a hold of the safety strap, or they're going to be in your lap vomiting all over you. And it's just high risk.
When was the last time you were in New York? I don't think we've seen the safety straps
Eric,
in a
you're
while.
not invited back.
But yeah,
so we have a certain decorum here on BullHorn.
It's just these guys are grasping at straws. They could come up with something great with the QNX OS with RIM, or with whatever Nokia decides to do with it OS, but it's so much risk. So of the rest, I actually like HTC, which is just a derivative play, obviously, on Google Android.
Right, definitely. Now, is there an easy way for investors to get into that? They don't have an ADR, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they can only direct invest in the Taiwanese stock market.
Right.
But HTC was up over 200% last year, and I think they've got a great management team, and they keep coming out with a slew of new phones that are interesting and seem to catch people's attention.
Right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Eric, for joining us.
Let Eric know I just got my Square for my iPhone, so if I can get his credit card number, I can slide it and just get that $10.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
PayPal, it's all good, yes.
Yeah, we'll deal with it after.
It's actually 11.